It's Monday. It's morning.
It's macabre once
And
again.
it's about that time to bring forth the spooky and sublime.
I like it. Good save.
Thank you. Saved it again. All I do is win, which is going to be our new theme song, actually.
All I do is win. Yeah,
All I
come
do-
sue us.
He
Who
can't.
sings that?
Isn't that a DJ Khaled track? I mean, I don't think he's singing it, but
Probably.
is that not isn't that like a DJ Khaled original? Isn't
It
that We
is
the
with
Best
Nicki
Music,
Minaj
Scones?
and P. Diddy on it. And
Nicholas
Busta Rhymes.
Minaj and Peter Dids?
Yep. And
Whoa.
Buster Rhymes.
Buster P. Rymington. We're cultured in the ways of really good music, so
Yeah, we talk about hip hop artists like they're like actors from the 20s.
yeah. That's the
That's music, people.
that's
If you don't
music.
like
I
it,
don't-
get out.
If you don't like it, there's the door. Okay. Speaking of doors, music.
Heyo.
Welcome to Underworld Macabre, everybody, where we talk about spooky stuff in a very serious way.
Wait,
Scones
hold
and
on.
Darcy.
I'm not ready to move on. Who's the lead singer of the Doors? I forget his name.
I think it's like Tony Shingles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
It's either that or
pretty sure
Mosquito Pete, and
He
I can't
comes
remember.
to Wayne in a dream in Wayne's World 2.
Yeah. That's Mosquito Pete. See,
Someone's
we're
like yelling
learned.
at their radio.
It's not Mosquito Pete. He didn't join till their sophomore album. Either way, Mosquito Pete is a member of the Doors.
It's Jim Morrison. Oh,
Nah, I don't think that doesn't sound right, dude.
someone is ringing my intercom
ringing your
of my
bell?
building right now, and I'm not going to answer it because I'm too dedicated to the people.
Dude, I guarantee you it's the guy from
It's George Costanza.
No, what's the movie? The Purge. It's the dude from The Purge staring at your like ring doorbell thing. You know what I'm talking about? Just
Yeah,
adding
but
up for
I
you.
like to think it's George Costanza. Instead, he's like, "It's George." I'm like, "Come on up," and he comes up.
And
And he's
then
like,
he's
"Would you
just
believe
like,
this, Jerry?
Scony.
The girl wanted me to pay for dinner.
And you're like,
What
do
is
you know
this?"
Mosquito Pete? Anyway, guys, welcome to another.
Oh wait, no,
edition.
we still have 2.5 minutes of nonsense.
Yeah, we do. We've
Provided
got
by
nonsense.
our union contract. Doris, what's new in your life?
Oh man, Scony, let's see. I got both feet on the ground, but my
Yeah.
head's in the clouds.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what it
I'm
should
just-
be, dude. Don't let the
I'm
public school system
just
beat it out of you.
so I've been listening a lot to this guy Andrew Tate, and
Finally,
he's got some good ideas.
you want to re-platform him?
Yeah, I'm gonna remake Twitter, but it's only for Andrew Tate, so he can yell in his own void. It's kind of like when you trap the consciousness of like an eternal demon, so it can't get out. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I have. I know exactly
yes,
what you
I
mean. first of
I
all.
do that all the time.
That is yes, and if anyone who's listening works for YouTube, your algorithm sucks. It is awful.
Wow.
The videos I get recommended, I'm a nerd. I watch like interviews.
Yeah, what do you watch?
Of like
I watch like
celebrities-
interviews with
interviews
like
for
all of the
celebrities
Stranger
and movies
Kids,
that I'm
Stranger
excited
Things.
about, or
Yeah.
like
Is that
video
a really
game
nerdy? That
stuff,
seems very popular.
or like I don't know. It's very like what I would think to be normal usage of YouTube, and then
Yeah.
the recommended thing is like it's always Andrew Tate crap. It's always
I do, I
like
get
the
same
name
thing.
of the page is like
Yeah.
Sigma piss doctor or whatever, and like it's like a girl being like, yeah, I'm gonna have like my dad in my life, and the guy's like, yo, you have another man? Like, and it's like, this is why you should never let her have another, and it's like weird,
Scones has been
insecure, like creepy manifesto stuff, and I'm like, please, YouTube,
Scones is down
stop.
bad after finding out that Liver King does steroids.
Yeah.
Scones cannot.
After my
take it.
divorce, I am. I don't have my ex-wife anymore. I don't have
Yeah,
the Liver
you've got
King.
You got $50 a month to send to Hustlers University finally, so you're finally gonna be,
dude.
you know, Scones is gonna start. Becoming his own alpha in his pack, and
No. We're above alpha now.
we're Sigma.
Exactly.
Well,
God, it's so
This-
terrible.
Anyway, don't spend money on dumb people doing dumb stuff. Instead, spend money on us, very not dumb
Hey-oh.
people
The
doing very cool
smarties.
stuff. Hi, I'm Smarty.
And use YouTube for cool stuff.
Also, if you in your watch history, if you remove previous watch things, it'll change your algorithm. I read that on Reddit
But
the other
I
day.
haven't watched them. I literally every single one that pops up, I hit the hamburger, and I'm like, or that might be an only thing that whatever.
The
but
three
I hit the
lines-
3 dots and I go down and I say do not recommend, or I've even gotten to the point where I'm reporting it now to hope that it just gets away from me, and it does.
And YouTube's like,
what
if Andrew Tate bought YouTube and we didn't know?
Well, do you like this one now? And I'm like, no, I just want to see the fastest way to level my World of Warcraft character. I don't want to see this crap.
Fastest way to level up your relationships and make $1 million.
Yeah.
Scones, you haven't heard of a thing called passive income, and it's pretty obvious.
Pretty much, dude. And then it's like a picture of like American Psycho clip.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have the same exact algorithm.
What is your network? Read that again. My brother gets them too, and he sends them to me, and I'm like, oh no,
they're really bad.
No, he sends it ironically.
Oh, okay. I thought he was.
No.
I thought he was gone. I thought we had to take him out back.
He's a listener, and he does not. He's not.
Okay. All right. Hey, shout out.
Deep in the passive income bag yet.
He's not coming to Christmas. Like, listen, dude. If you just give me $200, there's this new coin. I swear to God. All right, Scones, you're presenting us with your Sigma. Alpha
signature
Sigma male
Sigma story this week.
The triple S or.
Yeah, brought to you by like deer antlers or whatever is
brought to you by Athletic Greens, baby.
The enduring mystery of the 1994 Lake Michigan UFO incident.
Lake Michigan UFO.
Yep, Egg's been a dick, dude.
I like UFOs and I like incidents, so banned? Please? Like I feel like I shouldn't have to ask you every episode. Guys.
It's like they're sitting there and they're waiting for permission to slick their hair back.
I know. Like, let your dillies fly when you feel it's the right time. You know, that's probably something Andrew Tate says.
So let's just sit here in silence and wait till they decide it's the right time to start playing the intro music.
Right, and so Scones.
Yep.
They waited their
I thought it was a good choice by them.
Yeah, they gave it a couple beats, and
That's
it was
why
like,
they're artists, you know?
Yeah, you know when it's like a joke and it's funny, and then they keep going the joke and it's not funny, but then they keep going and then it gets funny again. It's like,
oh yeah, like the Family Guy, like
every joke in Family Guy,
yeah, like any of that,
or like the Peter holding his knee thing, where I think that one went too long. Anyway,
they need the Simpsons couch gag, but they didn't get it to fill out those time slots. Anyways,
speaking of skeleton bands, though, my daughter, even though it's Christmas, keeps playing with this like one of like the little skeleton like decorations that are just like they're all jangly and kind of connected by like a couple joints, like a skeleton is, and it just like slaps around.
Yeah, is she playing it like a xylophone?
She's like she wants it. She wants to take it everywhere. Like I put her in the car. She's like, "Can I bring skeleton?"
That's amazing.
I'm like, "Sure, Wednesday Addams."
That's literally exactly how I picture your and Jenny's offspring to turn out.
Yeah.
That's the branding, the brand loyalty.
Yeah, she's keeping the brand alive. Yeah, I'm just making sure that she grows up to be a
keeps the MMMIP chugging
the MMMIP, the MIP. MIP.
Oh,
all right, Scones.
Which reminds me, you can cut this if you don't want to commit to it, but we got to get a new Christmas shirt design chugging.
Ooh, hachi chachi, you're not wrong.
And I have an idea.
Ooh,
even better. I'll just tell you the idea right now.
All right, tell us the idea, Scones.
So do you
live
know
on air.
The Krampus movie poster where it's like the chair from behind and you see his hand?
I think so.
He's like sitting at a fire.
He's like on a silver platter with an apple in his mouth, and he's bound and that one.
No, But either way, it's that. But he's or the one of him holding the snow globe, but instead it's it's our coffee cup.
Okay.
Anyway, just spitballing here. That's what we do.
Hey,
That's live.
Those are good.
That was
I like
inside
that
baseball.
One. Yeah, you guys got to hear what it's like when we're talking business.
Darcy didn't like the first one where I described it horribly, and he has no idea what it actually is.
I cannot vividly imagine. Although, maybe if we get one of both of us as like pigs with apples in our mouths on a table,
that'd be sick.
And it just says Christmas.
It's probably
I don't understand the connection, but
well, anyway, if you're new to the podcast, we try to give a Christmas gift to our Patreon listeners. It's usually a Christmas design.
Yeah.
It almost never gets delivered before Christmas, so do not expect that.
Yeah. Dude, these barely get delivered on Mondays.
They're next. It's a next year thing. It's a long con Christmas
gift. It's a 2023 gift. Start your year off right, baby. Anyway, Scones.
The enduring mystery of the 1994 Lake Michigan UFO incident.
So, 1994, a great year, if you ask me.
Yep. Lake Michigan, one of the Great Lakes.
One of the greatest lakes in America.
It's one of those lakes that us as coastal people can't fathom how big it is.
I think that Lake Erie would have been better for branding, but I will accept Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Anyway, this article is from allthat'sinteresting.com. Thank you, Austin Harvey, for writing this, and John Korowski for checking it.
Thank you, Harvey Johnson.
Uh-oh. Okay, there you go. I only know one Harvey, and he sucks.
You don't know Harvey Dent, loser?
Oh, well, no, he also sucks. He killed many people and almost killed Commissioner Gordon's son.
I think he's misunderstood. Dude, you imagine having a face like that and not being a dick.
True.
Honestly.
He's trying to be a decent man at an indecent time.
I'm just trying to be sucking out pasta with soy sauce.
Ooh wee! On March 8th.
Way better than you might think.
1994. Well, isn't it just ramen at that point almost?
Baby, shut your mouth. Find out for yourself.
1994. Hundreds of people called 911 to report eerie lights above Lake Michigan, but their true origin
That's ironic.
Remains unknown to this day.
So, a bunch of lights over Lake Michigan.
Yeah, they're like, those belong over Lake Erie. What are they doing here?
So, I'm confused. How is this not just a boat firework?
No, it's above it.
Yeah, I know. It's a really tall boat. You're wrong.
And really long-lasting fireworks.
Yeah.
On March 8th, 1994, residents living along the shore of Lake Michigan witnessed one of the most widespread UFO sightings in history. Bright, multicolored orbs appear over the water. It could be seen as far south as the Indiana state line, dancing erratically across the night sky. Local police were overwhelmed with people calling in to report the flying objects. In total, dispatchers received over 300 calls from concerned citizens. The National Weather Service later confirmed the presence of large objects in the sky over the lake. Objects they were certain were not planes. So the NWS is being like, there's no planes there.
Like, that's not a plane.
So
that's a UFO.
You do have a government agency lending credence to these sightings.
Okay, always a solid start.
Then they were gone, vanished without a trace.
Okay.
Dude, the UFO design is timeless. That thing looks great.
I love how it's always a saucer. Yeah. The aliens are always like, hey, you know that thing that you guys thought up in like 1922? That's what we took as inspiration.
You know that weather
for all
balloon
of our ships
you saw in 1990, like 1930?
Yeah, that's the one. Also, we have giant heads, and you guys haven't been wrong, so congratulations.
And the funny part is, like, everything mankind has made and designed perfectly to go into outer space, none of those are considered.
Yeah.
It's always like, that saucer.
Fuck aerodynamics. Well, it's because they can control gravity, Scones. They don't need to worry about physics.
That's
the
hacked
idea.
Into the gravity?
Yeah, they hacked the mainframe, said, if gravity, then
Ooh.
Shut off gravity.
Wow. And they just
Thanks. I'm a bit of a programmer.
They just
myself.
run that.
Yeah, they just call that
click
script.
run
They're
and...
like npm run gravity dot JS and then bang bang boom.
Do they give it a shortcut?
On their like desktop
or a GUI.
Well, I think it's I don't think they give it a GUI. It's more of a terminal script, I would
Okay.
imagine, but
That one, our SpaceX listeners will like that one.
they'll be like, "Hey, the very basic programming."
Yeah, actually, wait. That's who we should pick our bones with. That's whose bones we should pick.
I'm trying to pick a bone. There's too many bones. I can't pick one.
SpaceX. Why are you building them to look like rockets or rocket dicks?
Make them into giant circles, baby.
Make them into saucers. We can take Darcy's proprietary software he just created.
Yeah, and then if gravity, then shut gravity off.
Easy peasy.
Or you could probably just do if not. You could do an if not gravity, turn gravity on. Same idea.
We know it might take a while. Elon's a little busy, but
Elon's a fucking dork.
Elon's making the news every day.
I'll say it, God. He's a dork.
However, despite dozens of witness interviews, no explanation has ever been given regarding the lights, which are now the subject of an episode of Netflix's revival, Unsolved Mysteries. Mysteries.
I think they're shaped like saucers because there's a giant cat in outer space licking them up.
I think Netflix should contact us to be the official podcast partner of Unsolved Mysteries.
I think Unsolved Mysteries should stop treading on our goddamn content.
Should leave things unsolved, all right?
Yeah, I got an unsolved mystery for you. What happened to the guys who made Unsolved Mysteries after I get my hands on them?
What if we were so concerned with running out of subjects that we went around and
guys
destroyed evidence?
Or we
gave
just
people false leads?
The Scooby-Doo move would be to just start doing crimes ourselves and then report them.
Oh, yeah, dress up.
Yeah, and be like, there's two giant clowns who are very handsome and tall and muscular, and they're causing all sorts of mayhem.
Two podcasters. That's right. And we would have got away with it.
We would have had it, too.
So
it wasn't for...
So what really happened that night in 1994?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Velma and her adult adventures on HBO, or whatever that show is. Have not watched it yet.
Haven't seen it.
But I heard it's going to be good. I heard the cast is
the grapevine. Oh, that's good.
Anyway.
The Will Forte's in it, right?
Will Forte. I would not be... Hold on. Velma show cast. Let's talk about it.
If
Sam Richardson.
Okay.
Constance Wu.
Fuck.
Okay. Glenn Howerton is Fred, which is incredible.
Ooh, I like that.
Mindy Kaling is Velma, so that's amazing. And then Shay Mitchell. Karl Anthony Towns is in it, who's a basketball player. Debbie Ryan, who I don't know.
All right.
No, let's go through. IMDb.
I don't want to. I want to hear about the UFO.
Okay, one last thing. Weird Al Yankovic is in it as Weird Al Yankovic. Anyway.
That's very cool.
I got UFOs in my backyard, Cindy Pravda of Grand Haven, Michigan, told a friend over the phone on March 8th, 1994.
That's sick.
There's no exclamation point, so I like to think that she said it very calmly.
I got UFOs in my backyard.
Oh, yeah, but it's Michigan. It's like Michigan, so you got to be like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, UFOs in the backyard.
There it is.
Or is that too, like...
I don't know. It was close to Canadian.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Just do your Jesse Ventura voice.
Michigander.
And then do your Jesse Ventura voice. And then we'll he's Minnesota, so... And then we'll drop...
We'll raise the pitch.
Or raise the pitch. Drop the Jesse Ventura meter.
Yeah, we'll lower the Jesse knob.
According to the Detroit Free Press, Pravda was one of the hundreds of people who saw the collection of 5 or 6 glowing orbs above Lake Michigan. More than 2 decades after the event, she still remembered it clearly. I watched them for half an hour, she said. Where I'm facing them, the one on the far left moved off. It moved to the highway and then came back in the same position. The one to the right was gone in the blink of an eye, and then eventually everything disappeared quickly.
The thing is like it's so hard to tell if it's just like spotlights or just like a plane or like there's never enough evidence for it to be compelling.
I mean, that is strange.
When it's a saucer.
Erratic behavior.
It's erratic behavior, sure, but like that could have been, it could have been a meteor shower, perhaps.
Well, in the Great Lakes, aren't there the Navy bases? So it could have been Navy exercises out of a helicopter or something.
Yeah, some Navy babies up in the sky.
Aren't there a bunch of Navy babies trying to get their
Hi,
Navy
I'm
badges?
trying to get to the Navy baby bedtime cribby.
Just a bunch of
Which
Boy Scouts
direction
trying
is
to get
that?
their Navy badge. That's all the military is, right?
Ooh, yeah, it's a bunch of Boy Scouts, not Sigma grind
That's
lords like
borderline
us.
offensive.
Yeah.
We take it
The
back.
Navy, a bunch of Boy Scouts.
Yeah, my buddy Mike. He's definitely not a listener, but
Yeah, my grandfather, he was in the Air Force.
there you go.
They're not Boy Scouts, they're men.
It was only
really
residents of Grand Haven who saw the lights either. Similar accounts were given by people in Holland, 22 miles away. I'm guessing that's a town and not the country.
No,
Holland?
bro. Geography was way different in the 90s.
Listen, tectonic plates moved them around, all right?
Listen.
There's a lot more tulips in the Midwest back then.
Men were men. Holland was near Michigan.
The good old days. That's like a very Grandpa Simpson, just like complaining and not making any sense. Among the
I used to walk to Holland to get milk, uphill both ways.
One of my favorite, I was watching The Simpsons the other day. One of my favorite Grandpa lines. They're accusing Homer of being a communist, and they're interviewing Grandpa, and he's like, "My son is not a communist. He might be a lot of things: an idiot, a jerk, a communist, but he is not a porn star." It just cuts away. Among the Holland witnesses were Daryl and Holly Graves and their son Joey. "I saw 6 lights out the window above the barn across the street," Joey said. "I got up and went to the sofa and looked up at the sky. They were red and white and moving." Sightings were reported from Ludington, Michigan, all the way down to the Indiana state line, 200 miles away. Calls were coming in not only to the police, but also to the Michigan chapter of the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON.
Wait, Moofad's not? Got him.
A volunteer nonprofit founded in 1969 that claims to be the world's oldest and largest civilian UFO investigation and research organization.
Dude, we should just call them up and just like have a chat sometime.
I was going to say, MUFON's got the history.
Yeah, but BOFA got D's.
Listen, we established last episode, Darcy is a fan of comedy, all right?
I'm a big,
Carrying
my wife
on George Carlin's legacy.
left me a voicemail after she went to work the other night and she listened to the last episode.
Yep.
And she called me and left a voicemail that was just like, bro, nobody knows who George Carlin is. And I was like,
I don't think we established the context either that you're a big stand-up comedy
I'm a
fan.
big
You
stand-up
have a lot
connoisseur,
of comedy
sure.
vinyls, records,
I've
you're
got
a
vinyls,
collector.
albums, records, etc. But the thing is,
so you may be biased.
but then I literally like a week before that conversation, there was an Ask Reddit thread of like, who is the best comedian of all time? And I was like, oh, I'm interested in this as somebody who collects records and stuff. And like the top 5 answers were all George Carlin. And I was like, yeah, that's good. I'm glad that like people.
You should have logged in, been like, Monday Morning Macabre here, trying to
like,
settle.
Hey, just want to poll everyone real quick. So that's why I was like, okay,
Charlie D'Amelio or George Carlin.
Okay, weird face funny TikTokers.
Oh no.
Or
I don't want to spread that.
Anyway.
While it is certainly strange for such a large number of people to report the same phenomenon, perhaps the most compelling evidence regarding the Lake Michigan UFO event came from the observations of a radar operator for the National Weather Service.
Okay.
One Holland.
His name?
Well, we got one Holland police officer, Jeff Veldhuis.
See? It's definitely Holland. That sounds like a Holland name.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Hollander.
It's Jeff Veldhuis.
Yeah, exactly.
Heard statements from numerous witnesses, all of whom described exactly what Pravda and the Graves family saw. Bright, flashing orbs moving in seemingly random directions.
Ooh. Tender.
According to the debrief.
Had to throw in a little recess reference.
Yeah. According to the debrief, after seeing the lights for himself, Veldhuis called a meteorologist named Jack Bouchon, who was stationed at the National Weather Service office in Muskegon County. I'm going to say Muskegon, but I'm not sure if I said that right.
That sounds right. That sounds like a Michigan place.
Oh, yeah, but I was up in Muskegon.
Oh, Muskegon
hunting
County?
moose. Yeah. Their conversation was...
I have no idea if this is what it actually sounds like.
No. This isn't what everyone in Detroit sounds like.
All right, perfect.
They're like, oh, yeah.
sounds very similar.
Yeah, Eminem's like, oh, yeah, look at the cars go down the line.
Oh, Slim Shady, yeah.
Can't have shit in Detroit. Their conversation was published a year after the event, and it has been made publicly available by MUFON in the years since, along with numerous calls from witnesses.
Oh, man.
Throughout the call,
MUFON.
Bushong and Veldhaus, which is...
that is the buddy cop movie.
Yeah, either that or they're like in a cartoon sitcom. They're the attorneys that like really suck at defending our main character. Bushong and Veldhaus discussed other mundane explanations for the unidentified object, including the nearby radio tower with newly installed lights. As the call went on, however, Bushong became increasingly excited as he tried to describe the instantaneous movements of the cylindrical object he saw. So again, This is the scientist saying that, not the cop.
That's when when the velocity changes instantaneously. That's when you're like, what is going on here?
What is happening? At one point in the call, Bushong confirmed that he saw 3 and sometimes 4 blips on the radar that were not planes. Planes show as pinpoints on the scope, he said. These were the size of half a thumbnail. They were from 5 to 12,000 feet at times, moving all over the place. 3 were moving toward Chicago. I never saw anything like it before, not even when I'm doing severe weather. So they're moving so fast that they show up on the thing as 12,000 feet long.
That's crazy.
Bushong.
Also, that sounds like me when I'm running on the track.
Hey, yo, don't get Darce a brand new pair of Nikes because he'll start a fire.
Yeah, baby, don't hit me with that starting gun.
It'll look like Back to the Future there.
Yeah, I get stuck because it melts.
And then he tries
but
to
if
kiss
I wasn't
his
getting
mom.
stuck, I'm the A train of the podcast.
Oh no, what does that make me? The Deep?
That oh baby,
nobody wants to be the Deep.
I'm thinking you're more
They're all terrible characters.
What's the name of the boy band guy?
Oh, who's Starlight used
Speedy.
to.
Yeah. You guys know what we're talking about.
I don't want to.
No,
I can
no
only,
spoilers.
The rest of my description of him is spoilers, so I won't do it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bushong later revealed that when he found out. Oh no, sorry. Bushong later revealed that when he found out his phone call with Veldhaus had been recorded, he was terrified that people would think he'd lost his mind. Which is fair. If you're a scientist and you're saying all this crap, you're like, wait, no, I can't be the face
Wait, this is what the crazy people say when they see something.
As a scientist, it is tough to be the face of a UFO sighting.
True. Yeah. Or you become that History Channel guy.
Also, you probably figure every military person or CIA or Homeland Security is probably calling him being like, what the fuck was it?
Yeah, homie security was like, hey,
are
your homies safe?
Are your homies tucked in tonight?
Do we need to send someone?
Just that people think you're a kook, he said to Wood TV, or you're lying. You're not credible. I'm supposed to be a scientist and skeptical. But there was no simple explanation for what Bushong had seen.
Admittedly, if you're in that situation, it does suck. Like, if you genuinely are like, I just saw a fucking UFO, and there's nothing I can do to convince anybody that I'm not an insane person or a liar.
Well, also, you are supposed to be skeptical, but I feel like as a scientist, you're also supposed to be, unbiased and just objective, and
you're
just laying down what you saw. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Everyone back off Bushong.
Bushong!
But there was no simple explanation.
Train to Bushong, dude?
Ooh.
New
Where we're just on a train. We're like, what are those lights? And he's like, it's a tower. And I'm like, okay.
He's like,
what about those ones?
He's like, I watched, that reminds me, I watched Airplane, yesterday.
Great
movie.
And
I forgot how funny that movie is.
That's another thing that we're bringing up that a surprising amount of people who listen probably have never seen
have never seen it. If you haven't seen Airplane, it holds up so well.
It does.
That's how funny of a movie it is.
Naked Gun does as well. Although there's probably jokes in there that don't age well, but most of it is amazing.
It's like every time the guy is telling his backstory, the person next to him starts to pull a gun out of their pocket or and it's That's what it would be like on the train.
I think one of my favorite bits is just Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's a pilot for no reason, and he's acting like he's not Kareem, like the most conspicuous person.
And then later in the movie, when he like knocks out and they pull him out of the pilot seat, he's just in full Lakers gear.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Anyway, Bouchon, train to Bouchon.
But there was no simple explanation for what Bouchon had seen. He went down the line of technical glitches and weather phenomena, yet nothing lined up with what he was seeing on his screen. As he described it, the solid objects were seemingly coming together and coming apart, moving about 20 miles in each jump. They were hovering, then jumping, hovering, and jumping. It appeared to him as if the objects were forming a wide triangle spreading out over Lake Michigan. So that's immediately spookier, right? That's the scariest shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially anything that is.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I had to check my reference. I opened up the encyclopedia.
You have a flow chart. Is it how many sides?
All
3.
Right, Is it jumping up and down?
Still, despite everything he saw, Bouchon waited over 2 decades to speak out, fearing that he might lose his job. He only spoke about it again after the U.S. government released a report confirming that military pilots have indeed seen unidentified flying objects. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I guess I've been waiting for this vindication, Bouchon said, which I didn't think I was going to get all my life. What really happened during the Lake Michigan UFO incident?
Whoa, bless you.
The Lakeshore event is one of the most well-documented and compelling examples of UFO activity. But as for whether or not it proves that extraterrestrial aliens have visited the planet Earth, the jury is still out.
Oh, no.
They're out. Someone go find that jury.
Find that jury, homie police or homie security. Can you find the jury?
When you're done tucking in the homies.
Kiss on the forehead and then right back to finding new homies.
Years after the event, Bouchon spoke to WWMT. I don't know what that is.
Didn't we lose those in Iraq?
That's another great joke that people aren't going to get.
Maybe not.
Again, I'm assuming the age of our listeners.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm skewing younger.
You're assuming everyone's
us.
like 16.
Years after the event, Bouchon spoke to. It doesn't say what WWMT is, and I can't find it.
I don't know. Whitey Wharfin
the
Ninja
really
Turtles.
wacky Michigan Times.
Hey.
And
hey.
Anyway, and revealed more information about what he saw on the radar screen that night in 1994. Scones and dust were just wee babes.
Just a tidy baby boy.
As he was watching one of the objects, which he described as coasting at about 100 miles an hour,
just coasting,
it suddenly rose to 5,000 feet and then 10,000 feet straight into the air. It was almost as if it was saying to me, "Hey, I know you can see me."
That's just taunting.
No one will believe you.
Watch me shake my ship butt.
At their highest, Bouchon said the objects reached 60,000 feet and continued to move in odd patterns until they reached the south end of Lake Michigan. There, he observed about a dozen similar objects, which were mostly stationary for 2 hours.
That's a long time to be stationary as a UFO.
Right, but that's what's creepy. I think the thing that, like, especially at this point and throughout the 20th century, the hovering part of it is what, like, planes couldn't do.
Yeah.
And helicopters could do, but helicopters can't go that fast.
Right.
So,
aliens, baby.
NWS didn't want to become the UFO reporting center for the United States, so that's really why they had to duck and cover for this one, he said. Bouchon faced ridicule for years after the incident, but given the recent reports from the United States government regarding the existence of UFOs, his account has gained some more credibility. Unfortunately, there are still more questions than answers regarding the Lake Michigan UFO incident of 1994, and the mystery surrounding it may never be solved.
My whole thing is...
What's your
with
whole
UFOs?
thing?
Here's my whole thing. Here's my entire, like...
everything you need to know about Darth.
Yeah. Why, if you're a UFO, why are you just like, yo, you want to just be erratic for a couple minutes? Like, what's the purpose?
Maybe they're like teenager aliens doing donuts, like their equivalent of donuts in a snowy parking lot.
Yeah, it's like a McDonald's small town parking lot at 2 a.m.
Do you think kids from southern states don't do donuts in snowy parking lots, or at least didn't have it?
So like don't go to school.
I guess maybe they have sandy. They do it in dirt. But that's a big thing.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's more of an ATV move.
Oh, maybe.
But maybe this is me being like super stereotypical of like what a southern person would do.
Everyone who lives in a northern state like knows one kid in their school who like is really into cars and would take it at like his.
I guess why would that not translate to the South?
Because there's no snow.
Oh, you're saying because they're doing donuts on the snow.
Right. It's really hard to do donuts.
Oh. I thought you just meant like just whipping in a parking lot. Like
no, because then you'd destroy your tires. Most kids can't afford to get new ones, I assume.
Okay, so you're saying they're just like fishtailing in a circle.
Yeah. Our friend Sean,
Gotcha.
for sure, like he's still probably doing. He's almost 30 and he's still probably doing that.
Yeah, he's probably like, bro, it's sick. The traction control, I ripped it all out. It's dope. That's true. Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
that's the important part of the UFO mystery.
If you're a high school car kid in the South, sorry, dude.
Yeah, let us know though. But yeah, I think UFO. It's just like that's the most plausible explanation. Is just teenage UFOs.
I mean, I think experimental technology, like prototype stuff, is always like. It could be drones then too, because think about like everything that we have now that like
it's always commercial. Like something like 15 years ago was just a military research project,
right? Yeah, and
5G phones.
Anything you use in your house, the military had it like 20 years before the public did.
Right. And obviously they're not going to be like, yeah, that was us, because they don't want people to know that they're doing these things in case of people getting that info. I would chalk up 900% of UFO sightings to that.
But we'll never know.
But we'll never know.
It could be teenage aliens doing donuts.
Yeah. And that's a way cooler outcome, and that's the one I choose to believe.
And they go home, and their parents are like, "Were you on Earth again?"
They're like, Richie, I said you answer the phone when I call, Richie. And Richie's like, me and Clean Blom Plum were
my transponder ran out of battery. And there she's like, we solved energy.
They're like, why does your friend have that weird name and yours is Richie? Guys, follow Monday Morning Macabre on Twitter at MMMacabrePod and Instagram Monday Morning Macabre. Go to MondayMorningMacabre.com. Patreon merch, Christmas stuff coming soon.
Crimby.
And if you're a Christmas crimbo who wants some bimbos, then stay tuned, because holy moly, it's that time.
If you're a Patreon listener, maybe leave a review on our podcast page. Be like, hey, I'm a Patreon listener.
Hey.
Got a sick fucking thing.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Spread the good word.
And we love you more than life itself.
More than life itself.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.